Hi Gaius. Yeah, nice seeing you, and nice hearing you play over Zoom on 2 days ago. I think I would just do a quick recap of of your Rage Over the Lost Penny. Everything sounded pretty good, and I think I mentioned that the only place that needs a little bit of the extra work is from measure 9 to 16. And that's what you basically just need to practice, most of the time. So before you start playing at the very beginning, you just play the middle part. And here we go. And then remember that at measure 15, where that's your right hand, and then the left hand have to shift down to G, A. So I play from measure 13. And then next, when the right hand is playing the D, left hand goes there. Okay, so that was the only thing that needed a little bit of extra attention, and everything else sounded really good. So that's it for the Rage Over the Lost Penny. And I think I sent you that new exercise, the Etude, from the John Thompson first grade Etude book. So let me quickly go over the evening bells. So the evening bells, I think I sent you on the text like some explanation about what you want to be doing with your hand position. And I wonder if you see that on the left hand you don't really have a fingering number, because all you're doing is you're playing this C. And if you can put a pinky there, but then you're going to wind up bumping into the right hand at the G. So I would actually play maybe like 2. I think 2. You're going to do, I think a 2 will be nice, especially because when you're jumping over the right hand, your left hand already has a fingering on it. It says 2. That way your right hand and left hand have a lot more room with each other. So the left hand you can start with the C, and then right hand follows, and then left, right. So left hand plays only with the index finger. And I'll play that one more time, and I'll explain the right hand a little bit later. Okay, so left hand jumping over is the main part of the exercise. Now, the other part of this exercise is to be able to play the right hand. And this is a little bit similar to what Hayden had in her second grade book. These are the broken chords. See, you remember, the left hand has the, and you play together. And when you have 3 notes that you play together, it forms a triad. And triads are usually the basis of a chord. A chord is based on 3 note patterns, and then it could go up to 4 notes, and then 5 notes, or you can. Those are all chords. And in the beginning, you start out with 3 notes because it's really hard to hold down 5 keys all at the same time. You need a big hand for that. So at this point, you're only dealing with 3 notes. Those are the first 3 notes of your right hand. That's a G, C, and an E. And actually, in your John Thompson first grade book, they do, I believe they do talk about the chord inversions. Oh, maybe it's in the second grade book. So there's a G, C, and an E. If you bring this G up to that G, instead of playing that, you play that. You're going to wind up playing. it's your C major chord. And with this song, your right hand is playing the second inversion. So this is a root position of your C major chord. And then the first inversion, you don't play on you bring that up there, and now the bottom note becomes the E. That's your first inversion. And then you bring that up there, so your bottom note becomes a G. That is the second inversion. So the regular triad has only 2 inversions because there are only 3 notes. The one that starts with this is a root position, first inversion, second inversion, and then after that, C becomes the bottom note, back to the root position, just 1 octave higher. So that's what the broken chord is about. And then let's go to measure 2. Measure 2, you're playing A, C, and F. Now I'm going to bring that down here. So you're playing, that is an F major chord. And then I bring that back up there. This is a root position, bring the F up there. First inversion, and then bring that up there. Second inversion, and then bring that up there. Root position. So root, first inversion, second inversion, and then the root position. So I believe that the right hand has those 2 patterns and one more, which is at the second line, and you're playing G, B, and F. Now that is actually what you call a 7th chord. And this is a G7th, the dominant 7th. It actually is supposed to have a D in there as well. But you can abbreviate that D if you... And then, that is just a G7 chord that is, missing the D. So, that can also be inverted too, but this happens to be in the root position. You have a G, B, you're missing that D, and you're playing the F. Now, let's take that and let's invert it. I'm going to bring this G up there. It becomes... That is the first inversion. Now I'm going to bring this up an octave. Second inversion. And then I'm going to bring this up an octave. That is your third inversion. So this is a chord that has 4 notes. Because of that, you can have 3 inversions. Root, first inversion, second inversion, and third inversion. And then after that, I bring that up, and that is the root position, just 1 octave higher. So yeah, those are the basis of the broken chords and how the chords are constructed. So yes, so you basically are going to have to be very familiar after this exercise to play this chord, the second inversion C major, and you will break it up. And next one is the first inversion F major chord. And then the third chord that you will be learning is at the second line. It's the G7 chord in its root position, just missing the D. You don't have the D, you just play. Okay, so those are your chords, and let's construct them all together in one song. And it says molto legato, which means you have to play it very smoothly throughout. So the left hand has just that, and then back and forth, the C and the G, And then at the very end, you go all the way to the high C. Because this song is in the key of C major, you want to end on a C. So that's your evening bells, the new etude. I think the only challenge is for you to be able to just read correctly. I don't want you to write down all the notes. Like, you know, G, C, E, A, C, F, G, C, E. I want you to be able to read it. So maybe you can train your eyes by being able to identify whether the first note was a G or an A. See the G. See the G here. It's below the second ledger line. This is on the second ledger line. That's A. So if it's below the second ledger line, below the staff, that's a G. That's a G lower than the middle C. See? You're playing, that's a middle C. That's the lower note. Is below the middle C. That's a G. And then that is the A. That's a C. That's the A. And those are the ledger lines that you know, those are the two ledger line notes. Oh, except for the B. You have a B there too. Yeah. So G, C, A, and B. So it's basically G, A, C, B. G, A, B, C. You have 4 notes that have the ledger line, which is below, at or below the middle C. You want to be able to read them and get used to reading them. Yeah, so there's a G, C, A, and then B. Okay, and I really would not recommend you to write down all the notes on it, again, because, you know, you should be able to read them on the staff. Yeah, so I guess that's it. Thank you. Good luck practicing evening bells. And I will post another video on falling leaves.